Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles in der Welt. Denn es steht zu Schutz und gute Brüder.
Hey everyone, my name is Clyde and you are watching Play by Play. Today, we are in the Tier 6 German premium destroyer T-61. Perhaps my favorite premium destroyer at Tier 6. Perhaps my favorite destroyer at Tier 6. It's really hard to make that call for sure, but I can tell you this is a really great boat. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it. It is definitely well worth it. I'm in this match with a friend who is in the Tier 6 Queen Elizabeth, which is a British battleship, unsurprisingly, perhaps. And we are steaming up to this 8-cap. Now, as I come up here, there is a Nicholas with a pink logo, which means he's engaged in some friendly fire in a previous match. He didn't want to give me the right of way here. He just decided to steam on through, and I let him go. I figure if I bump into him, then he actually does damage to me, which would make him pink guy for longer. What's great about what's going on right now is because that Nicholas is over there rat-a-tat-tatting his guns, the entire team is focused on him, which means I'm allowed to move up here to the cap and kind of take my time to figure out, exactly what I'd like to do here in order to be most effective. The T-61 has a detectability of 6.1 kilometers, which is low enough that usually, if you're careful, you can decide when you want to be detected. Sometimes, though, you're going to get surprised by another destroyer. So I fire one set of torpedoes into that smoke over there. I think maybe I can flush out one of the destroyers that's hiding in there, and I send another set off to the left. I don't have particularly high confidence that either set is going to find a home. As I'm turning around, my 8-click torpedoes are heading into that smoke, and I'm hoping that they're going to find a target inside. I open up my guns on this destroyer in the meantime, and I get a torpedo on what I believe is a Königsberg that's in that smoke, and then I get my guns working on this destroyer just to kind of see if we can't weaken him or finish him off. Get a couple of hits or one hit there. But there's the Königsberg. He's emerged from the smoke. He's very low thanks to my torpedo and the attacks of my allies. Boom. Perfect. Knocked dead. Perfect. That's kill number 1 in this match. Off to a strong start. My team's got 2 kills. Their team has 1. I do see another destroyer over there who's moving up and threatening my players, and I'm not a fan of that, so I throw a salvo. But this Minikaze, I believe, his engines are out, and he is sitting there kind of dead in the water. So I take my guns and I get him working on him, and get a fire on him there. So he's scorching. Trying to get a few more hits on him. That way I can maybe put him on the bottom of the ocean as well. But either due to smoke or lack of firing, he's gone undetected. At this point, I see a couple of battleships out there. We've got a Fuso here, as well as what looks like a Koenig on the other side, or maybe a Congo. So I'm steaming along here. I'm not detected, so I'm just kind of moving up. I'm going to move into A. I know that if I need them, I have my acoustics at the ready. The acoustics are one of the great hat tricks, or one of the great party tricks of the German destroyers. What's great about this, and we're going to see a demonstration of it later, is you can use the acoustics in conjunction with your smoke in order to be hidden, but see enemy destroyers if you get too close. This Fuso over here is just gonna let me torp him. He's steaming in a straight line, so I fire these torpedoes off. I'm thinking he's at kind of the further end of my torpedo range, but I'm thinking that as long as he maintains his course and speed, then those torpedoes are going to hit him. And at this tier, and I don't want to talk about coming down to SEAL Club a lot or anything, but when you're playing at this tier, a lot of the battleship captains haven't quite learned that they need to be changing direction, they need to be steering away, they need to be cognizant of what's going on. And bam! What's crazy about that torpedo hit is, if you notice, I only landed one of those torpedoes, even though 2 or 3, maybe even 4 were going to hit. That's because that first one was a devastating strike. You can think of that as basically like a critical hit that detonated that entire ship. 43,000 damage in a single torpedo. That was pretty crazy. A lot of that's due to RNG and hitting the ship in the right place and blah, blah, blah. But pretty rare to see a single torpedo do over 40,000 damage. German torpedoes reload really fast. I just fired those off, and you can see that it was just over a minute to reload. So now, here's another unsuspecting battleship, again, giving me a fat broadside. That's an easy target to hit as a destroyer captain. So I send off my torps. I kind of overlap them a little bit. I pulled them a little bit inside the targeting track, and the reason for that is a lot of times battleship captains will steer in or away, which reduces how far they're going to go. He did steer in, but it looks like I'm still going to get a couple of torps on him. And bam, that's 2 lands of torpedoes on that guy's hull, and he is sunk. So our team in the south half of this map, take a look at the mini-map. They had a rough go of it. You can see a lot of sunken ships there on the cap circle, and a lot of red ships, and like 1 green ship left. Geta, an Ernst Geta, which is another German destroyer, this one from the tech tree, pops up over here and fires torpedoes off at my friend in the Queen Elizabeth. What's crazy about this is the Geta did it exactly wrong. He's got acoustics, and he's got torpedoes that reload pretty quickly. What he needed to do was pop his smoke, and even without his acoustics, because the Queen Elizabeth is a battleship, he probably would have been able to see the BB from his smoke. So he could have popped the smoke and then waited and perfectly lined up his torpedo shot. As it happens, I think he landed 1 or 2 torpedoes on the Queen Elizabeth, but now he's got no tricks left up his sleeve, and he can't get a better shot, so he's trying to run away. Meantime, I'm shooting at him. Queen Elizabeth is going to dive into that smoke here, and he's going to be out of luck very soon. Looking ahead, we got a couple more ships to deal with. There's a Königsberg up ahead, and he's looking pretty weak. I don't get my shells there in time. That other guy snakes it, which, you know, is okay. At this point, I'm starting to think that maybe there's a KRAKEN in this match for me. And if you remember, there was a destroyer I missed earlier by just a couple of seconds. I just missed that cruiser by a couple of seconds. I'd have to kill both of the guys left on the map to get the KRAKEN. So I set that dream aside. I don't think that's possible. Don't get your hopes up either. I know there's a destroyer and a battleship over here, and the destroyer comes into view. That's the Hatsuharu over there, and I start taking some shots. Now, here's where I do the quintessential trick that you need to understand to do German DDs. I pop my smoke. I wait for the Hatsuharu to go to just about go invisible, and then I hit my acoustics. I can see him, he can't see me, and he's weak. So the only choice he has right now is just get in close to me and kill me, because he is on acoustics, and acoustics last a long time. It's not like a radar that's gone in 25 or even 40 seconds. It's over a minute and a half that I have, and so I can just sit here and perfectly safely from the shadows shoot that guy until he's dead. Now we're just down to a battleship. I'm thinking to myself that the only chance I have to get a KRAKEN here is if I can torp this guy, but he's too smart for me. He stays behind that island. Meanwhile, my other teammates are shelling him and shooting at him. I probably should have repaired my engine at this point and gotten moving, because maybe if I'd had a little more speed, I could have gotten over there. But, you know, as it happens, I didn't, and I don't wind up getting this kill. So I'm gonna keep you from getting your hopes up right there. I do not get a KRAKEN this match, but I do kind of sneak up on this guy. We've got shells coming in from, you know, both sides of me, or 2 guys, I should say, on my right side, my starboard side, that are throwing shells in there. He's shooting away. I was hoping that those guys would drive him east so that he'd come around the island and I could surprise him with a magical last hit, but no luck for me, and that's just how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining and educational. If you liked what you saw today, please hit the like button and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode of Play by Play. If you can't wait for the next episode, go check out the other videos that are on my channel right now. There's a whole stack of play-by-plays just like this one. Thanks again for watching. Always sail with friends. Take care of each other, and we'll see you guys in the next battle, Captains.